I'm going to speak to you about the art of foreverness. And foreverness is a concept of bringing the past forward into the present, and then we have the present, which will utilize that thing we brought from the past, and then it remains for future use. And so it lives on and on and on. Many cultures in the world have practiced the art of foreverness through their artifacts that they leave behind. Many cultures would not be known of today had they not left behind some form of art for us to marvel at, for us to be inspired by. How many people have been to a museum? How many people looked at a piece of art and wanted to cry? How many people have looked at a piece of art and wanted to laugh? How many people looked at a piece of art and wondered what the people were thinking when they created that? Yes. So in that light, we're going to talk about music. We look at music as something, for me actually, let me speak for myself. Music for me is completely eclectic. I have left the United States of America, and I have heard a piece of music here that was popular on the radio, you know the kind, you know. And then I've gone and I've gotten on the airplane and I've landed in China. And I've watched the young people walk down the street and said, that beat sounds familiar. And then I listened and I said, wait a minute, that's the same song. They're enjoying it in China. It's not in Chinese either, but they're enjoying that piece of music. And then a month later, I land in India. And they are listening to the same piece of music and enjoying it. And so I see music as a form of worldwide communication. You do not need to speak the language in order to enjoy a piece of music. Music has its own what? Form of language. And so I look at the time that I've seen music heal people's emotions, heal rifts between family. Because, you know, you say, remember when Mama used to sing that song to us? And the two sisters who were arguing stop arguing, and they say, yeah! And they start singing it, right? And everybody's, right. So music heals. Then we have music inspires. How many times have I been working on something and I'm so tired, and I put on some music, and I'm like, oh yeah, I could do that. Or I'm cleaning the house, and I'm, right? You know, music inspires you to keep going when times are hard or when things are difficult. You can put on a piece of music that brings back a memory. And that's how we connect from the past, right? Because your memories are attached to that piece of music. Grandma can tell stories. I think of things that my grandma taught me through song that I still remember to this day. And I won't tell you how old I am now, but I'm old. And I still remember what grandma told me as a little 4-year-old when she sang that song to me and rocked me. The lullabies our elders sing as they rock us to sleep. Yes? The songs we sing in kindergarten. Yes? Attach memories to them. And so, building community, music definitely is a piece of community building. You see the man playing the steel pan? That was created in a little island, that instrument. Now, people all over the world utilize that. Talk about foreverness. Now, see the people on the beach? What are they playing? They're using the instrument of the voice, one of the oldest instruments on the planet, as well as a guitar, and they're having a great party on the beach. What? You think they will ever forget that? Nah, that's a foreverness piece. And then they tell the story, and then you see the people on the street, the people playing the music on the street, and then the other folks down here, these elders are surrounded by the piano, and they're sharing memories, and they're sharing joy. Music is building foreverness. It's the art of foreverness, part of building the art of foreverness. My mother told me that since, even in the womb, I danced. She said that whenever a piece of music came on, my little arms and legs would just move to the rhythm. I mean, exactly to the rhythm. And she was always fascinated by that an baby in vitro could actually pick up the rhythm. And then on top of that, my earliest memory as a child of being praised by my elders, of the smiles looking at me, smiling faces looking at me, was when I was dancing. Because they told me I was a fierce little dancer. I don't remember much of it. I remember one time dancing at the carnival. You know, we have in the Caribbean. I was born in Antigua. And in the carnival, we have every year. And, you know, the bands march down the street, and everybody's playing an instrument and jumping around in costumes and so on and so forth. And I remember one time dancing, and I remember the faces, the joy that my performance, as if we call it that, brought to those people. I will never, ever forget it. And I think I was about 4 when that happened. So talk about the art of foreverness. I will never forget that. So natural connections are made through rhythm. So I know this is a TED talk, but TED, forgive me, this is me. My ancestors are talking to me right now, so here we go. Here we go, everybody. Follow me. Put your stuff down. Keep going. And stop. Now, did you feel it? You have often heard people say, I feel that, or that moved me. And when it moves you, when the rhythm moves you, what do you want to do? Dance, yes. And dancing, for some people, they have this definition in their minds of dance as somebody on a stage performing ballet. No, let me show you dancing. I'm dancing. Right? See the movement? I'm dancing. All right now. Go ahead. And look at what happened. She started doing the same thing. And so when you bring people together, when you bring groups of people together and that rhythm takes them, here's your community. They don't speak the same language sometimes. They're from different backgrounds sometimes, different races, different cultures, different genders, different ages. But when that music comes on, they start the movement, right? And then we do what? We create new things to do to the movement, right? So next thing you know, we have line dancing. And folks are dancing to an old song, but they're doing a new movement, correct? And sometimes we go way back, thousands of years ago, and we bring some movement and a rhythm back. And so today, people are twerking, but they have no idea that that's an ancient dance from a people in Senegal, West Africa, called the Laobé people. And the Laobé women and girls danced that dance. And the purpose of that dance was to keep here strong, your core strong. And when you squat to give birth, because we didn't lay down on our backs to give birth back then, when you squat to give birth, your thighs are strong because that dance requires strong thighs. Okay? That also keeps all your organs in place. Okay? So those people had that purpose for doing that dance. Now today it's a little different. All right, I give it. I admit it. It's a little different today. But the movement is the same. Okay? And so that's bringing something from the past into the present. I have no idea what the future holds for it, but it still exists today. And that's the art of foreverness. They took it, an ancient thing, they added their creativity to it, and now they express it in their own way. And so we have different dancers from different places, and you see the joy on her face? They tell me that's how I look when I dance. I have no clue. I don't know. I just feel it, and I just go with it. Then, culinary arts. You know, I noticed that when people have meetings, I know that you notice that too, they say, let's do lunch. Why is that? Because food makes people relax a little bit. And when they chat and chew, you know, they're more agreeable when they chat and chew, right? And so, you know, and when you have your family gatherings, do you have food? Raise your hand if you have food when you have your family gatherings. Yeah. And it doesn't have to be a holiday. My family, listen, let me tell you something. If you come to my family's home and you don't eat, you have insulted the host, okay? And birthday parties, not just cake and ice cream, okay? I spread, okay? Sort of like what the people in this country have as Thanksgiving dinner. That's what a birthday party looks like in my culture, okay? So food is very important. Food relaxes people. Food makes an activity enjoyable. Food is essential to many cultures, and the culinary arts in many cultures maintain the integrity of that culture. And that's something, when you share recipes, how many people make Indian food at home? And, okay, how many people make Chinese food at home? Okay, rephrase, how many people eat Chinese food? Yeah. I had to find the right question. Okay, so you eat Chinese food. How many people eat Indian food? Okay, and if I'm looking around and I don't see too many people in here from those cultures, but because those people have shared their culinary arts with the world, they are practicing the art of foreverness. Okay, so as you can see, these are multicultural scenes of people sharing food, and look at their faces. Does anybody look upset? Nah. That is the art of foreverness. They will never forget that memory. They will forever remember how they enjoyed that moment. And then next one of my favorites, graphic arts. Now, for me, graphic arts include architecture. You know those beautiful buildings? Somebody created that. That's art, right? Graphic arts include shoes. Pretty shoes. Somebody designed that, right? Your clothes you wear. Somebody designed that. Not just a painting on the wall, not just photography, but all the beautiful things that surround us. That's art. And many people explore their artistic self by sharing with others their skill, their gifts. If you look at your hands, everybody, for me, just look at your hands. There are gifts in your hand. There are. You might not be able to see them right now, but they're there. And if you just utilize them, if you just accept them, if you just share them with others, share your culture with others, share what grandma did with others, share that favorite recipe with others. If you just do that, you have actually practiced the art of foreverness. And we will forever be able to maintain many things that would have otherwise been lost. Architecture. That one up there I've selected because of the Caribbean. You know, our houses are pretty, they're bright colors, and yeah, and that's very beautiful art. And then many ways of preserving and creating art. Not just painting, not just photography, but look around you as you, now that you're aware of the art of foreverness, look around you as you're walking down the street when you leave here today and see how much art is around you. Gardening, beautiful art, one of my favorites. And as I leave you today, how many people are going to be more aware of the art of foreverness? Awesome. And I want to say thank you so much for allowing me to share my vision of the art of foreverness with you. Have a blessed day.